Okay, today we're going to look at some things we can do with an Excel spreadsheet. We're going to look at absolute cell referencing, we're going to look at formatting using a macro, and we're going to look at cell protection. So I'm just going to open up a document that I've already started creating and just make a few changes to it. So this is for my company, so I'm going to put my company name at the top, and then I'm going to create the gross pay, which is going to equal one lot of the normal time by the pay rate plus 1.5 times of the overtime by the pay rate. So to do that, we press the equals button, open our brackets, normal hours multiplied by the pay rate, close the brackets, plus, open brackets, overtime multiplied by pay rate multiplied by 1.5. And I'm going to enter that. The charge rate is going to be a markup of 25.75%. So I'm going to say I want to equal the gross pay multiplied by the 25.75%, but I want that to maintain an absolute cell reference, which means that the F4 will stay in F4 even if I copy and drag it down. To do that, press your function key 4, F4, and it will put the dollar signs in, which means it's an absolute cell reference. So now if we copy that down, you'll see up here the F4 stays the same, whereas the E changes from 8, 9 and 10 as we go down. Super is going to be charged out at 9%, and we're going to equal the gross pay multiplied by the 9%, and once again use the F4 key to make it an absolute cell reference. And then the charge out is going to be the sum of the gross pay, the charge and the super put together. Now that we've done all those, we can actually copy the whole 4 at once all the way down. I'm going to put in totals, which is at sum, and then I'm going to drag that so every column will be totaled. So that's pretty much what I want it to do. So now I want to be able to format it so I can copy this and use this formatting time after time. So I'm going to create a macro. So if I go to the developer tab and record the macro, I'm going to call it the formatting macro, and I'm going to see if I can use Control F, so that when I use Control F I will be able to run this macro. So first of all, I want to make this go across all the columns. So I go home and then into merge and center. It merges the cells and centers the heading. I'm going to bold that heading, and I'm going to increase the size of that heading. I'm then going to bold my headings here and my names down the side. I'm going to make this part all outlined with borders, and I'm going to make my totals borders, bottom, double, bottom border. Anything that is in dollar terms, I'm going to make into dollar terms. And then what I want to do is on this column, I want to wrap the text so the text will appear on 2 lines if it needs to. And I also want to make all these columns a certain width. So if I go to format column width, actually what I'll do is format auto fit column, and if I make it, they will all become the same. Now that's a bit big, so I want to make this one smaller, and I want to make this one smaller. Okay, I will bold my date. I'm going to fill in a colour and in a colour here as well. And I'm actually going to centre the top ones. So I'm pretty happy with that layout now, so I'm going to do developer, stop recording the macro. So now if I was to copy this all, Control C, Sheet 2, Control V, you can see the formatting's disappeared. So now if I go Control F, the macro will run and create that formatting for me. Now say for instance I want to make sure that only specific cells are able to be entered into. Let's go out of that one, and let's delete sheet 2, and let's go back to sheet 1. What I want to do is only make it available that people can enter into the hours, the overtime, and the date, and we might change that to month. So what I want to do is go to Review, Protect Sheet. Before I do that though, let's look at all these cells. If I look at these cells, right click, Format Cells, Protection, they're all locked cells. What I want to do is actually unlock these ones. So right click, Format Cells, unlock them. And the same for this one here. Format Cells, unlock. Now if I go to Review, Protect Sheet, it says allow all users of this worksheet to select these cells, but we're actually going to lock the contents of the locked cells and protect the worksheet. So I'm going to put a password in and then confirm it. So now if I try to type in anywhere else, it won't let me. But what I can do is I can type in the month, and I can type in the hours. And everything now will be calculated, and we can see, oh, that might be a bit too many hours, and it will all calculate for me, and I won't be able to calculate in any other cell. So that's your cell protection. And that pretty much concludes today's session. So just remember, just showing you again, if I copy this and paste it and then Control F, it will automatically run the macro and fit it in, and I will actually have to protect each sheet unless I go into Protect Workbook, and then I can actually restrict the accesses there. Otherwise I will actually have to go in and protect each sheet individually. So we might leave that for another day. Thanks. Because we have to sign up for something else and we won't do that. So each sheet has to actually be protected individually. So you'd have to set it all up, protect each sheet, and then you'd be able to have your staff members go in and just input that. But by actually having that formatting option, it's going to change you a lot of time, save you a lot of time. Okay, thank you.